The Austrian village of Sterling was a picture postcard, a serene and picturesque place nestled in the heart of the Alps. Snow draped the gabled roofs like powdered sugar, creating a winter wonderland that seemed almost too perfect to be real. Lights twinkled, casting a warm glow on the cobblestone streets, inviting villagers to stroll and enjoy the festive atmosphere. The scent of gingerbread wafted from the bakery, mingling with the crisp, cold air and adding to the village's charm. Christmas was near, and the village was adorned with festive decorations, but beneath the cheerful exterior, a current of fear ran cold. It snaked through the narrow alleys, whispering on the wind, a reminder of the dark legend that haunted Sterling. It was the fear of Krampusnacht, the night when the devil himself was said to walk among them. Anya, a young woman with eyes as blue as the winter sky, felt the familiar chill crawl down her spine as she thought of the stories her grandmother used to tell. She stood at her window, the frosted glass cold against her cheek, her breath fogging up the pain as she peered into the night. She watched the townsfolk hurry home, their faces drawn and pale in the fading light, each step quickened by the fear of what the night might bring. They knew what lurked in the shadows, the stories of Krampusnacht passed down through generations, a warning to all. They knew that on Krampusnacht, the devil walked among them, a dark figure that brought terror and punishment to the wicked. From a young age, Anya had been raised on tales of Krampus. He was the dark shadow to St. Nicholas's light. While St. Nicholas rewarded the good children, Krampus punished the bad. The thought of him sent shivers down her spine. It wasn't just the stories. It was the palpable fear she saw in the adults' eyes whenever his name was mentioned. Their hushed tones, the way they avoided eye contact, it all spoke of something truly terrifying, something ancient and primal. Anya had always been a good child, obedient and well-behaved, but the fear remained, a knot of unease in her stomach that tightened with every passing year. Anya's grandmother, a frail woman with eyes that held ancient wisdom, had been the one to tell her the stories. Her voice would drop to a low whisper, her gnarled fingers gripping Anya's hand tightly. "The Krampus," she'd say, her voice raspy, "is a creature of the night." Her words painted vivid images in Anya's mind. "He comes for the wicked," she'd continue, "the disobedient, those who forget the true meaning of Christmas." The Krampus was no mere man, but a demon. His face was a grotesque mask, twisted in a permanent snarl. Horns sprouted from his head, and his tongue, long and forked, licked at razor-sharp teeth. Unlike Anya, her younger brother Lukas scoffed at the tales. He was impulsive and reckless, a stark contrast to his sister's cautious nature. Lukas saw the stories as nothing more than old wives' tales meant to scare children into obedience. He'd laugh off their grandmother's warnings, his eyes bright with mischief. "Krampus isn't real," he'd declare, his voice dripping with teenage bravado. "It's just a story." Anya would watch him, her heart heavy with a premonition she couldn't shake. Lukas's defiance, his blatant disregard for the legend, filled her with a sense of dread. Section 5. The eve of the Krampuslauf. The village of Sterling was cloaked in a thick blanket of snow, the streets illuminated by the flickering light of torches. The air grew colder, heavy with anticipation as Krampusnacht approached. The villagers could feel the weight of the night pressing down on them, a mix of fear and excitement palpable in the air. The annual Krampuslauf was upon them, a night where tradition and terror intertwined. On this night, men would don elaborate, terrifying costumes, transforming themselves into the Krampus. Their masks, adorned with horns and grotesque features, were designed to instill fear. They would parade through the streets, wielding chains and whips, their guttural roars echoing through the village. The sound of chains clanking and whips cracking added to the eerie atmosphere. It was a spectacle both terrifying and exhilarating. a tradition that sent shivers down the spines of even the most skeptical villagers. The children clung to their parents, eyes wide with a mix of fear and fascination. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long, ominous shadows across Stirling, the village seemed to hold its breath, waiting for the night to unfold. Anya felt a growing sense of unease. She had heard the stories of Krampusnacht, but experiencing it firsthand was something entirely different. The festive cheer of Christmas seemed a distant memory, replaced by an oppressive silence. The once joyful carols were now replaced by the haunting sounds of the Krampuslauf, a reminder of the darker side of the season. Section 6. Terror in the Night. Night fell, blanketing Stirling in an eerie silence broken only by the crunch of snow underfoot. Anya watched from her window, her breath fogging up the glass. The Krampuslauf had begun. Figures, grotesque and menacing in their elaborate costumes, stalked through the streets. Their roars sent chills down her spine. Then she saw him, Lukas. He was laughing, challenging the creatures, his voice a beacon in the night. Anya watched in horror as a particularly large Krampus, its eyes glowing with an infernal light, turned towards Lukas. The creature charged, its roar shaking the ground, and then everything went dark. Anya awoke to a deafening silence. Gone were the eerie sounds of the Krampuslauf, replaced by an unsettling stillness. She rushed to the window, her heart pounding in her chest. The snow-covered village was bathed in the soft light of dawn, the aftermath of the Krampuslauf evident in the discarded branches and trampled snow. But something was different. There was an emptiness that hung in the air, a palpable sense of loss. Anya raced downstairs, her blood turning to ice as she found her parents huddled in the living room, their faces pale with terror. Lukas was gone. The search for Lukas was frantic but futile. He had vanished without a trace, swallowed whole by the night and the creatures that haunted it. The villagers, their faces etched with a mixture of fear and pity, whispered amongst themselves. Anya's parents, their faces etched with grief, refused to believe he was gone. They clung to the hope that he was still out there, lost but alive. But Anya knew the truth. She had seen the look in the Krampus's eyes, the primal hunger that burned within them. Years passed, but the memory of that night, the terror in her brother's eyes as the Krampus descended upon him, remained etched in Anya's mind. The festive cheer of Christmas was forever tainted, replaced by a chilling reminder of the darkness that lurked beneath the surface. She never forgot the lesson learned that night. The legend of Krampus was not just a story, but a warning. A reminder that even in the heart of winter, amidst the joy and celebration, evil lurked, waiting to claim those who strayed from the path. The village of Stirling still celebrated Krampusnacht, a night steeped in ancient tradition and folklore, but the festivities were now tinged with a somber undertone, a shadow that loomed over the once joyous occasion. The villagers, once boisterous in their revelry, now moved with a quiet reverence, their laughter subdued and their eyes wary. They watched the Krampuslauf with a mixture of fear and respect, their hearts heavy with the memory of past events. They remembered Lukas, the boy who had laughed in the face of the demon and paid the ultimate price. His laughter had once echoed through the village, but now it was a haunting memory. Krampusnacht's toll was a heavy one, a burden that weighed on the hearts of all who remembered that fateful night. It served as a stark reminder that some legends were more than just stories. They were warnings etched in the annals of time. These warnings were whispered on the wind, carried through the ages, a chilling reminder of the power of the unseen. Carried on the backs of demons, these tales were not to be taken lightly, for they held the weight of truth and consequence. Forever etched in the heart of a village shrouded in snow and secrets, these stories were a part of their very being, And Anya, forever marked by the events of that night, would carry the scars of that encounter for the rest of her life. She would never again doubt the power of the Krampus, a lesson learned in the harshest of ways, a truth that would stay with her always.